So hi. So quick update. Yesterday I managed to work on this project for the whole day, and so I closed our version 09. So what does it mean? Well, this is the things I've done. So I tested a lot of things, and I improved the decorators, the model mainly. So now the decorators work really nicely, and I think I have a picture of these decorators. Yeah, you see, this is the buffer, and now we can have a new line decorator, a pre-post decorator, or I can combine, of course, decorators together. Okay. Um, New things to do. So there's a strange thing happening when you hit the return at the last cell of the grid, but we can fix this. Changing the style must be improved. And also, this is another thing I want to do. So I don't like the idea that when there's an invalid position, we throw an exception. This is what string does. Uh, and of course, string can perfectly do that, but we prefer to use objects. Exceptions should actually be used when where there's something that um, really doesn't work in an unpredictable way. But this is a business thing. So we perfectly know that the position can be invalid. It's not something like, oh, I expect to access my hard drive and the hard drive is broken. So we should not actually use exceptions, which, by the way, break this uh, message passing principle. So now the point is in which direction to go. And I thought I wanted to share this with you because it's interesting. So these are mainly the cards we talked about. And you see, we have two bug cards. We might want to work on these cards. These are all related to the view, and at least one of them can actually be removed if we implement double buffering in the view. Which should be also a good idea. So we don't want really to. This thing happens for some string reason, and I don't know if this is really interesting to understand exactly why and when it happens. If we implement double buffering, we will never have this problem. Okay. This is that, yes, this is something we want to work on. And changing state, of course, this is something like that. We have to improve that. We have to find a solution for invalid position. We need some time to think about the solution. And these are more like something like features. So one feature is, okay, the ability to show, for instance, the status bar in this inverted color. Okay. The ability to load a file. You should actually get us really, my terminal really close to be something like an editor. Scrolling up and down. This is, of course, connected to the load file thing. And another direction is soft keys. Soft keys is more oriented to I have an application, and this application should work like in a terminal way. So, in my opinion, soft keys is more like oriented to terminal or terminal-like applications, and the load file and scrolling up and down is more oriented to I want to implement an editor. It's just nice the fact that we can use my terminal for doing all these things. Now, when I usually do this, I try to add some other cards. Okay, something that my imagination or I can come up with. And the reason is because I want to maybe find some other order, some new cards, for instance, which can simplify some of these cards. So one card is actually a task, and we have to reduce the complexity here. You have to improve the design of the modular tool, of the tools, because they're not modular, and we have to make it modular. So I can reuse single behaviors of the current edit tool. For instance, the timing. Hmm? And this thing is something that I usually do. So what now everything works. Oh, we should actually show this. Okay, sorry. So this is our terminal, our current terminal. As you can see, we have the timer. We are in edit mode, and so I can start typing, and everything works. You see. I can go here, here, here. It really works nicely. And but what happens is, let's imagine I want to remove this time from my status bar. Well, this is not so easy. You say, Francesco, why you want to do that? This is exactly the program you want. Yes, I know, but this is a way for me to check if the design is really good. Removing um, behaviors, so removing features. So usually we consider a piece of software flexible when we can easily add features, but I can also consider flexible when we can easily remove features. Or in this case, parts of the program. Okay. And in fact, this is the other thing which is not really nice in my terminal now. So if I remove this the status bar, well, the program would not work. So we will have problems. And you see, this is what I intend here for modular tool. We want to make this tool more modular so that it can work easily, even if I want to have a different version of my terminal, which only has the console, and this should actually work. Another idea I had is that it would be really nice to use this my terminal yeah, to implement our logo interpreter. So basically, next week or in the next weeks, I'll start a course about logo. So how to implement. We will be implementing logo from scratch. I said, oh, this would be really nice if I could write my program. You see, this is something I could actually do even right now. But of course, I want maybe the instructions to be in a nice color, so that the system shows that it recognizes, okay, this is a forward command, this is a left command, and of course we have to think about what happens when I hit the return button. So maybe I want immediately to see some effects and to see the turtle turn their head 30 degrees left. All right, so this is another idea, and there's another idea which is animation. Well, I thought since I do this a lot, I thought, why we don't implement something like an application, an animation? And an animation could be something like Pong, a video game, or Space Invaders, or a turtle. You see, a turtle could actually do this. You could actually implement the turtle and the language, maybe in two different windows, or maybe in the same window. I don't know. Turtle maybe is even better. So I like it. I want to put it number one. Snake game could also be another alternative. Um, I don't know. This would be really cool. Since we are in character mode, it would be nice to have something like a matrix. You know, the matrix flow, character flow, or I don't know the name of that thing, but this would be really nice. So waterfall, I don't know the name of that thing. Okay. And of course, we can implement the games or something else. Okay, why am I doing this? You say, oh, because you want to become rich selling a lot of products. No, it's not actually. This is the point. The point is, I'm training this terminal. Okay, so the design of this terminal should be simple enough to make it possible all these things without me saying, "Oh my God, this is really impossible now with the current design." Okay, so in any case, since I like all these ideas, and you see there are some groups of cards that should actually go together, but I selected this order. So this is what I would like to do. The first thing I would like to do is to integrate this um, with an application, with a real application, and this basically is implementing soft keys. Soft keys is actually a way to implement buttons on a character mode terminal. And I think this is the thing I want to do. But before we can implement buttons, we also need something like display box. And a display box is something that connects account. Okay, this is an object, the simplest object I can imagine. Uh, the display box and the grid. So basically, when the count has changed, it's been incremented, the display box gets something like a notification and can actually change the value on our grid. So basically, this is the simplest grid application, and I decided to go here because soft keys is something I want to implement, and they not necessarily they're super easy to do. So what is a soft key? Command line, I should see different commands. And in this case, I'm actually developing input actions. So I cannot call these things buttons, but these are input actions, right? So they connect a particular position on the grid to an input action, and the input action connects, it actually sends a command to our count. Okay, so here there are several patterns involved. Of course, there's a pluggable adapter here, but we will have to see how to implement this. But mainly, this is the effect we want to have. So if I am in command mode and I hit the one button, the one number, then what I want to see is this count incremented by one. Okay. Okay. Uh, Nice to have things. It would be nice to have this inverting color, which actually means I will have to implement all the styles. Okay, so this is not a simple thing. So we will basically have to have a grid, not necessarily in just two colors, so the foreground color and the background color, but we will add styles. Okay, and of course, some of these styles are foreground and background color. We'll see later, but this might be something like a big change, meaning it has an impact on the model, it has an impact on the controller, and it has an impact on the view. So this is the reason why I say modular tool, yes. And this is an interesting story because I thought maybe this is the right story, the right step, where we can actually fix this thing with the tools. See here, for instance, if this is the application I want to deliver, I'm not really interested in the position, and so these are information that I'm not interested in. So nothing is going. I'm not going to write here anything. So this would be the first. Okay, I can get rid of this. Okay, this is supposedly going to be the another possibility. So we know that we are in command mode. This is the status bar. I know this is the command mode. We know that this is the time, and you can see this here. No, is a status bar, but we didn't even need the status bar. And you see, this is now the point with the modular tool, because in this case, we were able to remove all the information about the buffer, the added buffer. But we can do more. And doing more means, yeah, we only see this, okay? So what I would like to do here, in order to complete this modular tool card, is we start from this one. Oops, the one with the data, also the position. And do I have this? Yes. So I can copy this and copy there. So this should be step number one. And again, I'm talking about this card here. And I should be able to remove part of the context from part of the text from this status bar. So I should be able to configure a status bar, but I should also be able to configure in this case, this is not the problem with the view. The view is already modular. The problem here is with the controller, so the tool is not modular. So the tool expects to have a status bar. And this is something that we have to learn how to do, okay, how to remove this. When I say modular, on my mind means, well, I can add the time feature here to one of my tools, okay? Add or remove. And the same goes for instance, for some part of the contents of this status bar, I should be able to add or remove. Okay, so this is the step. So at the end of the step, I should be able to have this, which basically means I can develop not any, but a lot of user interfaces. So something like mainframe user interfaces, simple things, but useful things. I think this could be useful because I can use this to interact with something. Okay, so thank you so much for this. See you next time.